This is Caitlin, your host of the NoSleep4Dramas Podcast, where we get no sleep and survive on coffee to watch just one more episode at night. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the NoSleep4Dramas Podcast. And as the title says, we are here for a watch list episode. Two things. One, I apologize if I sound a little congested. I woke up for some reason congested this morning, but that's my only symptom. So I don't know if I'm coming down with a cold or whatever. So if I sound a little congested, that's why. I don't know if I do or not. Two, I also apologize because I don't think I ever did a watch list for May. I don't know why. I mean, granted, May is a very busy month for me, but I realized as I was making my watch list for June that May was nowhere in sight. So I apologize for that. I don't know why I didn't make one, but I guess I didn't. But that also means that my watch list is basically almost completely different from my April watch list because I finished a lot of things and I also started some new things. You're going to get a lot of new shows in this and hear a lot of stuff that I have never talked about, which will be fun, you know? Sometimes that's fun. Also, June, and I know I've said this on my social media, but June is the month where all of my English-speaking shows decided to drop. So I have a couple of English-speaking shows in this watch list episode. I normally don't. I watch like 3 or 4 English-speaking shows a year. For some reason, they all wanted to come out in June. I do have one that's coming out in August. And one that is out in June, but I haven't started yet. So it's not going to be on this watch list because I'm not actively watching it at the moment. But yeah, so you're going to have a good mix of shows this episode because we'll have Asian dramas and then we'll have English-speaking shows. Not that you really, I don't know if you care if I'm watching English-speaking shows or not, but I like to put them in just to tell you guys what I'm watching and not watching. I mean, they're all like popular shows. It's not like I've never heard of this show ever. Let me go check it out. They're all really popular shows. Anyway, so we're going to get a good mix into my watch list episode for June. Always, as we start out, it is going to be the Korean dramas first. But before that, if you guys want me to add something to my watch list, want to hear a review on something, let me know. DM me, message me, comment under this blog post or this podcast. Like, I always will take recommendations. At the end of this episode, just like I did in April, I think was the first time I did it, I will be naming some dramas I do plan to start. So you'll see a couple repeats from my April one that I just haven't started yet, and then a couple new ones. So that will let people know if they need to watch the drama, if they want to watch it before my review comes out, because anything I name, for the most part, I probably will review. It depends. So I'll let you guys know on social media, but I would say anything that isn't a Korean drama, I will probably do a review on it. If it's a Korean drama, it really depends on if I like it or not. Because, you know, sometimes I watch it and I'm like, okay, that was decent, but nothing like I should do a review on this so people know more about it, like My Atypical Family. At the time when I was watching it, no one really else was watching it because Lovely Runner was airing. So I did a review on it to make sure that people knew about the show in case they wanted to double back and watch it once it was done airing. So, which I'm glad I did because a lot of people seem to pick up the show after Lovely Runner and are quite enjoying it, according to social media. But yeah, so you'll hear some things that I plan on watching. And again, if they are not Korean dramas, that probably means you're going to get a review episode at some point. I don't know when some of these review episodes are going to be out. I have the entire month of July, like, really planned out for the blog because it's going to be half a year into 2024. So you're going to hear like some of my blog and episodes that are talking about the first half of 2024 in Drama Land. So you probably have to wait until August to hear some of those reviews if I actually watch them in a timely manner. We'll see. But obviously I have to like finish the show to do a review on it. So we'll talk about those at the very end. But right now, we're going to talk about the Korean dramas I am currently watching. The first one we always talk about, I think I'm going to just be watching this one until the end of the year at this point, and that is the long Korean drama Bad Thief, Good Thief. I'm still slowly watching this. All of the main characters are pretty much enemies at this point because they've picked sides and they don't know all of everybody's story. So they're all butting heads and trying to figure out, like, especially like the two brothers, like they definitely don't know the full story of each other's story, so they both hate each other right now. So it'll be interesting to see like which character breaks first and learns the truth more, and then wants to befriend their brother again. And then the both of the female leads too, like they haven't really started any romantic lines with any of them, but you can see it's starting. So, and they're like forming relationships with the two brothers. So it'll be interesting, like who falls first and who ends up learning secrets and then wanting to fix their relationship with the brother or with the girls that they grew up with. Eventually, we all know, I mean, I know from like, this is like a 2017 drama. So I know some of the things that happened in the drama. And I know like the main four characters eventually start working together and become friends again because they all knew each other as children. Eventually it will happen. But right now they pretty much hate each other, or they like haven't met yet. Because there's like this one girl who they knew when they were younger, but she like moved away. So she's met them but hasn't realized what, like, who they actually are. So we'll have to see. Definitely also, like, I can't wait for some of these villains to get what they're supposed to get by the end. Like, some of these villains are really, I mean, these villains have lasted since they were children. Like, there have been villains from the very beginning, and so we have 50 episodes to figure out when, or to see them get what they deserve. We'll have to see. We have a lot to go until I finish this drama, but the other thing is there's another like daily drama coming up. Like, I think it's a weekender. I think it's like 35, 36 episodes. That's coming up in September that I absolutely know I'm watching. So I don't know if I'm gonna wait until I finish Bad Thief, Good Thief and start that one, or I'm just gonna try and watch it as it airs. Like, the horrible thing with me and weekenders is if I try to watch something that is airing, like a weekender that's airing, I ultimately fall behind. So I don't know if I'm going to start that one and then eventually fall behind anyway, or I'm just going to wait until I'm done with this one. We'll have to see. But I know I'm definitely watching the daily drama coming out in September because, one, the cast looks amazing. That's the main draw for me. And then they just keep adding people that I love to the cast. I know I absolutely will have another weekender coming up in September that I'm watching if I get access to it. And you guys are probably asking, like, what is this weekend and why am I watching it? There's not much I know about it, actually. I only know that it is titled Iron Family. And the main reason I'm watching it is because Kim Jong-hoon, who I love, joined the cast. And this is like his first weekender, I want to say. I don't think he's ever done a weekender. I could be wrong. But it's his first weekender, I think. And I mean, the minute he joined the cast, I knew I'd be watching this. But then we have Gum Se Rook, who's pretty good. We have Choi Tae Joon. We have an Infinite member just joined, I think, like a couple weeks ago. He's not on the My Drama List cast, but I saw on Twitter like last week, that he joined an Infinite member. He's a good actor too. His name's slipping my mind. But basically, like there's not much known about this drama other than like it's a weekender and that's pretty much it. And then the cast. So I definitely am going to be watching Iron Family. It's supposed to air in September, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my other weekender that I'm currently watching. That was the Korean drama Bad Thief, Good Thief. Anyway, so the next Korean drama I am watching is Connection. I'm super behind on this because one, I have a lot of anxiety watching this drama. I don't know why, because there is just like so many there's so many twists and turns. You like have no idea who to trust. There's so many villains in this drama. I'm not like avoiding episodes watching it, but like I watch an episode and I'm like, okay, I have to go watch something else because like I feel like I'm not caught up, so I don't know if this is actually true, but I feel like there's going to be a ton of people dead by the end of this drama. And yeah. And part of the reason too is like this is a true thriller, like crime thriller. Everybody is acting their butts off, which is like adding to the anxiety because it's like who's going to become the villain now? Who do I actually trust? Who's going to end up killing another person? Connection, I love you. Like, I'm having a really good time with Connection, but there's a lot of anxiety when it comes to watching this drama. I don't remember the last time I was so anxious watching a drama. But I am behind. I'm really behind on this one. I also am behind on this one and the next one that I'm going to talk about because I was trying to finish up some other dramas. May, as we know that I've said, like was not a good drama watching month for me. So I was trying to like finish up some other things and get those off my plate. So I'm just behind on both of these, but that's fine. It's only two, so that's fine. But also because I'm so behind on Connection, I know this drama is just going to get crazier and crazier from where I am, and it's already nuts. And then also the camera work in this drama is great, which is adding to the anxiety. The way that they portray a cop who's addicted to drugs and then trying to desperately like fight the urge to not take those drugs and to figure out like why he became addicted and who made him addicted and everything. Like the camera work is like a lot of, especially when he's on drugs. When he's on drugs or like fighting the urge to take it, they do a lot of close-ups and a lot of like him like the shaky cam, and probably what they put the camera on his body and he's like walking through a hallway or downstairs and you like kind of get that really close-up shaky cam view. I love when they do that because it really portrays the emotion and feelings of like the actor or actress being out of it because they're high on drugs or trying to like have withdrawal symptoms things, but it's also like anxiety inducing because you're like, oh my god, I don't like this feeling. It's like uncomfortable watching this drama. But yeah, the camera work adds a lot, and I love the camera work and Connection. It's really good. But again, everybody's acting their butts off. Like even the villains. There's so many villains in this that I love it. That it's juicy. It's juicy. There's so many villains, and they're all acting their butts off, and it's so good. But yeah, this is a true thriller. So since I have never talked about Connection before, except for like in the wrap-up video or wrap-up episode, just a little refresher. Connection is a Korean drama. It started airing in May. It's done in a couple weeks. It stars Ji-sun, Jeon Mi-do, Kwon Yul, Kim Kyung-nam, Jung Soon-won, Jung Yu-min, plus other people. And basically, Ji-sun plays a cop, a detective who is on the narcotics unit, and he is forcibly addicted to drugs by somebody. And then he has to hide that, basically. He's like denying, because he's a police officer, he's denying that he is a user, but he's hiding the fact that he's like wanting these drugs and withdrawing from these drugs, or like needing to find the next hit, but also trying to find who forcibly got him addicted to these drugs in the first place. And then Jung Mi-do is a reporter, and she knew Ji-sung from high school, and she witnesses somebody dying in front of her due to these drugs, and she starts like investigating this for a story, and she comes upon Ji-sung, and they start working together basically. And then there's a bunch of these like 4 or 5 other people who are all like having secrets and dealing with these drugs. And then there's like a big bad over here that also has to deal with drug. Like there's so many like villains and connections to these drugs. And high school, like there's a bunch of people, as including Ji-sung and Jung Mi-do's character. There's a bunch of other people who like know each other in high school. They all knew each other, so there's a connection there. There's a drug lord. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. But it's great. It's, again, as I said, it's anxiety inducing to say the least. That was the Korean drama Connection, which you can watch on Viki. Okay, so the next Korean drama that I'm also behind on, I've only watched the first couple episodes, mainly because I rewatched season 1 before I started season 2, and because I rewatched season 1, I didn't start season 2 when it aired, like when it premiered. And that is The Player, season 2. And the reason why I rewatched season 1 before I started this next season is because it aired like 6 years ago. So I didn't remember much of it, and I wanted to rewatch it. And I'm thankful I did, because it's not like you have to rewatch season 1 as far as I'm aware. Like I'm behind, so I've only watched a couple episodes, so they might bring something in the latter half of this drama. I don't know. But at least within the first couple episodes, there's a little bit of, they started pretty much when season 1 left off, and they kind of re-show that in the first episode, but it doesn't really have a big impact, in my opinion, if you don't watch season 1. But you don't really need to watch season 1 at the same time. I just wanted to, because I had a lot of fun with season 1. Season 2 clearly has a bigger budget. Like, they have a way bigger budget than season 1. And so that's fun. I hope that it is still going to be, because what I loved about season 1 of The Player is you got like, it was a good mix of comedy and crime. And I hope they stick with it. And at least within the couple episodes I've watched, it looks like they will, but it also seems like it's a lot darker than season 1, which I don't mind, but I just hope they keep with the comedy a little bit more. So we'll have to see. There's new players in town. There's new people added to the team. There's new villains, of course. The villains are delicious in this drama. But it's just been fun to revisit this cast, the gang of like scammers and their whole con makeup, and then you have the comedic side of it too. I'm a little sad that one of the main characters didn't return for season 2, but I do like her replacement. Her replacement's doing very well. Again, because this is a new drama, I'll reintroduce it. So this is The Player, Master of Swindlers, Player season 2. I'm watching it on Viki. Connection, I'm also watching on Viki. So this is a action drama where a group of people come together. It's like a con man, a fighter, a hacker, and a driver all come together as like a team, and they fight to, like, it's basically a Robin Hood situation. They like scam rich bad people, take their money, turn over, at least in season 1, they would turn over evidence to the police to get these bad people arrested, and then they would keep a portion of the money for themselves. They haven't really added into the whole working for the police in season 2 yet, that from what I've seen, so that might come later. I hope they do, because Kim Kwan is in this. No, not Kim Kwan. What's his name? My God, I'm drawing a blank. Kim Won-hae. That's who it is. Kim Kwan. I know that's another actor. Kim Won-hae plays the prosecutor in season 1. And I hope he comes back, because that they had a very good dynamic. Him and Song Sung-hoon had a very good dynamic in season 1. So the cast for season 2 is Sung-han, Oh Yoon-soo, Tae Won-suk, Lee Se-yeon, and Jang Guri. Those are like the 5 main people, and pretty much like the 5 like scammer con group people. And then you have a lot of guest stars because they have like, it's an episodic thing. And then they have an overarching villain eventually, at least in season 1 they did. So it's an episodic thing, so they'll have different cons every episode or every 2 episodes. So they have a lot of guest people, which is fun because then you'll have like really good actors come in for 1 or 2 episodes and have this story and then leave again. I think the reason why season 2 is a little darker though, like season 1 was a revenge drama as well, but it was like a revenge drama for one person, and then the rest of the team had other motivations to do things. For season 2, they pretty much have a revenge for one person and one person alone, like the entire team does. So I think that will come into play eventually, that's going to be the overarching crime, that they're going to find this one person or his team, I guess, because it was a team thing, and get revenge on him. And I'm not revealing why they want revenge. It's in the first episode, but I'm not going to say why. So I'm assuming that's going to be like the overarching quote unquote bad villain crime that they have to deal with by the end of the drama. But in between dealing with that big problem, you have these episodic cons and episodic scam plans, I guess. And like the reason why I said it's a bigger budget is because I think in episode 1 they went to like Thailand, and they went to, I don't know if they actually went there, but they said they did. I don't know if they actually did or not, but they went to like 3 different locations for like 1 episode, but I don't know if they actually went there or not. I couldn't really tell if it was actually Thailand or actually, I think it was New York that they went to. I don't know. They went somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, that's the other one, the other Korean drama I am watching right now, The Player season 2. I'm really, really enjoying it too. I like the fact that it's different than Connection. It's not as anxiety inducing, and because of the comedy, it adds some fun. If you guys have never watched the Player series in general, like have never watched season 1, please do. Like, it's a lot of fun. I just rewatched season 1 after 6 years, and I thoroughly still enjoyed myself. I highly recommend this series. It's a lot of fun. It is a crime drama. It is like a con artist scam action drama, but there's a lot of comedy involved at the same time. It's really funny. So I'm hoping they'll add a little bit more comedy to season 2, but because right now what I've seen, they haven't had a bunch of comedy, but that's because I'm like still at the beginning of the drama and they had to set up the big bad. So we'll have to see. I'm sure they'll add more comedy to it, but I'm really glad they did a season 2 for this. I really wasn't expecting a season 2, and I think this is a drama that you could do multiple seasons, like seasons every 2 or 3 years. So I'm assuming they're going to kind of set it up to do a season 3 eventually, but we'll have to see. Just finished talking about the Korean drama The Player season 2, which you can watch on Viki. Anyway, so those are the 3 Korean dramas I'm watching right now. Again, I'm really behind on the 2 airing ones. Usually I'm very good at keeping up with airing ones. For some reason, I'm not this month. Okay, so as I said in my April watch list, I was going to start Blossoms in Adversity soon, and I definitely did that. So I'm about halfway through this drama now, and I know I've said this before. With Chinese dramas, I do not watch Chinese dramas on air. I've tried multiple times to watch them as they air, and they just drop episodes too fast for me. I inevitably fall behind, and I get frustrated because like I want to keep up and like not get spoiled on the internet, and then I eventually do anyway because life happens, and then I get spoiled anyway. So it's like I'd rather just like wait until they're done, maybe a couple months beyond that, so like the social media is kind of out of my head and don't remember a lot of it, and then I watched the drama. So like with Blossoms in Adversity, I don't think I was spoiled too much on this drama. Like I knew like the premise, I knew some of like the scenes of like the communication scenes, which I'll get to later, but and then like some of the family dynamic scenes, but I don't think I've ever been spoiled on the ending, which is rare because I usually see the ending, especially with costume Chinese dramas. I don't know why, but anyway. But I will say I've heard some of people's opinions on this, and I kind of agree with what I've heard. And for example, like I remember I heard Liliana from Tea and Soju when she watched this, stumbled across a review of hers. I can't remember if it was like in a wrap up episode that she did, or it was, I have not listened to her full review, so it must have been like a wrap up episode. But she basically said that the romance, she liked the romance. She thought it was nice, but like it wasn't the highlight or the thing she like truly cared about in this drama. And I kind of have to agree. Like she liked the family dynamics more and the strong women working to support themselves and to kind of learn about themselves more while going through this crisis with their family. And I agree with that. I like that a lot in this drama. Like at the beginning of Blossoms Adversity, I didn't really care about the romance, but that's mainly because like it didn't exist yet. Like they didn't really meet until technically they met the first episode, but they didn't know each other. Like they didn't he knew her, but she didn't know him at all cuz he wore a mask. So the romance didn't really show up until, I don't know, episode 5, and that like it's a very slow moving romance, which is fine. Like I'm halfway through and they really haven't, like it's clear they care for each other, but nothing really has been like they've never said I like you. There's not really, it's more of like a I have a comfortable chemistry with you and I like being with you, but we haven't really said we like each other yet. And that's halfway through. So, and I'm not complaining. I feel like that's fine. I think that's just not the focal point of this drama. It's grown on me. I definitely like them. I think they're cute. I like how they like handle conflict and communicate well because like she just found out that he was working for the, I don't know what they call them, but they like the security bureau, like that essentially took all of their stuff away and exiled the males in the family. I don't think she knows that he's like the leader of them, but she found out he works for them. And instead of like freaking out and like kicking him out of her house, they had a conversation and he's like, this is why I'm in your house, because we need to figure out if there's secret messages going in between these two people. And she's like, no, there aren't. Here you go. This is what they're sending each other. And it was like friend, like pen pals, like friend letters. And I like how they settled that. Like she had a level head to not immediately kick him out and get mad and then they don't talk to each other for like 4 episodes. That might happen eventually, but currently right now, not so much. But they also haven't had like major conflicts yet. I'm assuming when she finds out that he's the one that was like the big bad leader, that might become a conflict, but I don't know, maybe how they handled that conversation and that first realization that he did work for the security bureau, that might not be the case, but we'll have to see. There's also like right now, currently, I can't really pinpoint a big villain in this drama, but I could see the Emperor becoming one because he kind of gives off like I might turn into a mad king eventually, because our male lead, I think, is his nephew. He clearly loves his uncle. He clearly loves the emperor, but clearly also does not agree with everything he does or says. So I'm curious if he will continue being loyal to his uncle, or he will kind of try to step back, which obviously will probably cause conflict. And he also doesn't have a really good relationship with his father and his family. So I'm wondering if he's going to mend that too, or the female lead is also going to help him mend that a little bit. And also, because I'm only halfway through, we haven't really addressed the male lead sister and their background, really. Like, we know a little about it, but that's, I'm assuming, going to be a big thing that's going to be talked about in the second half of the drama. But overall, I'm really enjoying this one. I can see why a lot of people liked it. I loved, like, the highlight for me in this drama is the women and what they've done to survive. I love seeing them like grow through this hardship and basically have everything taken from them, and then they have to start over and they have to learn to get along, because at the beginning of the drama they did not get along. It was a big family, pretty much a lot of competition within the family. I still think some of these women have secrets and like have storylines that we haven't seen yet. I always get a little nervous with this drama when like things are going too well, because I feel like that means something's going to happen to like knock them down a peg again. So we'll have to see. But the family is definitely a highlight for me. I like that they also have taken in other people, like the male lead's sister, and have really brought them into the family themselves. They also have become a family of business women, um, which is really interesting because I haven't seen many historical Chinese dramas with like business women. I have a couple on my list I haven't watched yet, but I like seeing that type of thing. It'll be interesting to see if this family sticks together by the end, because I can see like either a couple characters dying, like I have a couple that I'm like, they could be dead by the end, or I could see like some of the old competition coming back into play and then something happening and then they're like exiled or jealous and leave anyway. Like, I don't know if this entire family is going to stick together by the end, but we'll have to see. But I do like that, like, you have seen some changes within the female characters and the children from where they were at the beginning of the drama to where they are now, and it's only halfway. So I'll have to see how I feel about the second half and what conflicts come up, because there's definitely going to be conflict at some point in the second part of this drama, for sure. But overall, I'm really enjoying it. I definitely see why people like it, and I'm definitely going to be doing a review on it, so look forward to that. I think I might try and finish this by August and have the review out in August at some point, because again, July is pretty much planned out. So I think the earliest you'll see this in a review is August. So I'll probably finish this in July or early August and then get the review out in August, I think. But yeah, that's the only Chinese drama I'm watching. I have many others on my list that I want to watch, but I need to pace myself because I think I'll get overwhelmed if I start too many. Just finished talking about the Chinese drama Blossoms in Adversity, which I'm watching on Viki. Okay, so the next thing I'm also still watching is Yu Yu Hakusho. It's the anime. I'm slowly also still watching this. I am rewatching this, actually. I've not made like a ton of more progress on this just because I've been watching other things. I also haven't made it to the tournament yet, which, if I remember correctly from what I saw in terms of the reviews of the live action, that pretty much followed the why can I not talk today? Tournament, and like skipped where I am currently. Because I'm still in the part of the anime where Yusuke is a spirit detective. I I can see why people did not like the fact that the live adaptation skipped this part, because I think it does add, like, some people were saying, like, it adds so much to Yusuke's character, and there's a lot of growth in the first part of this anime, and then added growth once the tournament starts. But the fact that they skipped it, you didn't really get to know Yusuke in the live adaptation as you would in the anime. So I'll be curious to see what I think of the live adaptation once I finish the anime. But I have met pretty much all the major players. I forgot how much comedy was in this anime. I mean, I knew there was comedy. I just forgot how much there was in it. So it's quite fun to do that or to see that again. I also, because he's a spirit detective, I love the fact that he's like detecting and having to solve these cases. I always love that type of concept in anything I watch, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. I also forgot like how attached I get to these characters, because I love multiple characters already because we've met so many of them. So we'll have to see. I don't remember like what's the outcome of these characters by the end of the anime. So I'm probably gonna get my heart broken at some point. But I'm having a lot of fun rewatching this. I don't have much to say because I haven't watched a ton more, but I love this anime growing up. So I'm having a lot of fun rewatching this for sure. That was the anime Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay, so the next one is also a rewatch. It's a Taiwanese drama, is The Victim's Game. I don't think I have to make like a lot of introductions to this because I've talked about it so much, but I'm going to do it anyway. So this is on Netflix. The reason why I'm rewatching this is because season 2 just dropped last week, and season 1 aired in 2020, and I really remember some of it but not all of it, so I wanted a refresher before I watched season 2. And I don't really know if season 2's like has any connection to season 1, but we'll have to see. So basically, this stars Joseph Chang, Tiffany Su, Jason Wang, Moon Lee, River Hwan, and Ruby Lin, along with a bunch of other people. But pretty much like the main two characters, or main three, I should say, is Joseph Chang, Tiffany Su, and Jason Wang. The concept of the drama is Joseph Chang plays a forensics detective who is on the spectrum. He has Asperger's, I think. He basically discovers while investigating these like murders that they have, he discovers that his estranged daughter has some type of connection to them. He's trying to figure out like what's her connection, trying to figure out if she's like the culprit or a victim. And then Tiffany Sue plays a reporter who becomes like wants to do a story on these murders, and they end up teaming up eventually and helping each other out. I'm rewatching this. I think I'm on like episode 4, episode 3. There are 8 episodes every season. I'm not going to say much about this drama because I don't know how many times I've mentioned this drama. I've mentioned this drama so much over the years. And I'm just so happy we're finally getting a season 2. I had to wait 4 years for a season 2, and it's finally here. A warning for people. I know I've said that like you need to watch this drama. It's a crime drama. It's really good. It's a fantastic crime drama, but it is gruesome. And it shows a lot. It shows the bodies, it shows the autopsies, it shows the wounds, it shows everything. It is not shy. And they're realistic too. It's not just like a body with like a stab wound in it. Like it can get pretty gruesome depending on the murder. Just if that's not your thing, this drama might not be for you. If you're okay with that, like there's a lot of like there's at least in the first season, there's like decaying bodies with a lot of detail to it. So I think it's worth it because it's an amazing crime drama. But if that's not your thing, if that's not something you can handle, do not watch this because it's not for you. But I loved, as I said, what I love about this drama is one, I think they approached the character with Asperger's very well. I thought they portrayed him very well. I love at the end of episodes, they describe like how they built a set or how they'll interview an actor and how they approached a certain scene or something. And I liked that little bit. I think it's mostly after the credits, I want to say. But also like their attention to detail in when it came to like building these sets and like making the dead bodies and like the story being woven into it. There's a lot of heartwarming parts to this drama, specifically when it comes to the daughter and the detective and their story woven into this crime drama, I think is really touching. So yeah, I can't recommend this drama enough, but I know it's not for everybody, especially because it's so gruesome and it shows a lot, but it's so good and I can't wait for season 2. I'm hoping I can finish season 1 like this week. I have like 4 episodes left, 3 or 4 or 5 episodes, something like that. And then I'll start season 2. That was the Taiwanese drama The Victim's Game. I'm watching season 1 on Netflix and we'll start season 2 soon. Okay, so as I said in June, I'm watching English speaking shows. Some I've already finished, so they're not on my current watch list. But one that I'm still currently watching is, of course, Bridgerton. Yes, I watched Bridgerton. I know that's a little surprising probably to some people. My friend me into it last year. I went to her house, and I think I've told this story before. I went to her house and she found out I had never seen Bridgerton before, and this was after season 2 had premiered. And so she like sat me down and we watched season 1 like that weekend. And then I came home and I watched season 2. So when I heard season 3 was coming out, I actually watched Queen Charlotte, which I watched a couple weeks ago, which is why I had like multiple English speaking shows. And then now that I finished Queen Charlotte, I'm now watching season 3 of Bridgerton. I'm glad I watched Queen Charlotte before season 3 because I think it gave a lot more context to some major side characters and their relationship between each other and just their background. I've only watched the first 3 episodes. I have also been spoiled on pretty much everything in season 3. So, and along with like people's comments. So I'm really curious like what I'll think about this season. Right now, Colin and Penelope in season 1 annoyed me a lot individually, but also together. In season 2, they got better for me. So in season 3, their chemistry, I will say, is really good. But I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about the second half of this show. So I'm really curious what I'll think of it. Right now, season 2 is my favorite, followed by season 1 because I haven't finished season 3 yet. But I also loved Queen Charlotte. So it's probably like season 2, Queen Charlotte, season 1 right now. So we'll have to see what season 3 is. I hated the fact that they made the whole Eloise and Penelope conflict in season 2 going into season 3. Apparently, I read that like that was never in the books, and I really hated that part. I really did not like that. Like, I wish they had written that a different way. So currently, they have not mended their relationship yet. They're still walking on eggshells. So I don't know. I don't know how I'll feel about the end of this. We will see how I feel about the end of Bridgerton. Currently, right now, I'm very much enjoying it. Their chemistry is really good. But also the friends to lovers trope is not my favorite. I don't mind it, but I've never been a humongous fan of friends to lovers. So maybe season 3 is just not for me at the same time. I don't know. I will be curious on who season 4 will focus on. I don't really know who that will be. I've heard a bunch of theories going everywhere, but I don't know. I don't know. There's like 4 or 5 characters that apparently that season 4 could focus on, and apparently we're not getting season 4 for like 2 years, so I don't know. And lastly, that was the American show Bridgerton, which I'm watching on Netflix. Okay, so that is all I'm watching currently, and I think I'm going to be like finishing at least 2 of these, if not more, by the time my next watch list comes out. So we're moving along. We're going to keep watching things, which I always like. Okay, so some of the dramas I plan to add to my current watch list soon at some point. A couple, I only like kind of repeated one. I didn't repeat any. I thought I repeated at least one. Okay, so one I think I talked about and I like mentioned on my social media is I definitely plan on watching The Spire Realm and doing a review on that. I haven't really decided if I'm going to finish Blossoms in Adversity first and then start the Spire Realm, or I'm just gonna like start that when I finish a bunch of my other English speaking shows, like get other stuff off my watch list. I'm not really sure. And I think it really depends on like how many Korean dramas I'm watching in July. Because right now I know I'm watching one because I definitely know I'll have access to it, which I'll name in a little bit. And then I think I have my eye on like two others in July, but it really depends if I have access to them or not. So it really depends um, on what where I'm at in like the currently airing Korean dramas, on if I'm gonna start this right away or wait until I'm done with Blossoms in Adversity. So we'll have to see. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to be watching The Spire Realm. Blood of Youth, I really want to watch because I know that spinoff is coming out eventually. The Double, I think I'm gonna watch. I definitely want to watch and do an episode on that because I actually have not been spoiled a ton on The Double, but like I've watched scenes, I know what it's about. Obviously a lot of people are talking about it. It looks right up my alley, like something I would really enjoy. So I do plan to watch The Double. And then the one Korean drama I know I will probably be watching in July because I think I saw it was coming. It's a Disney Plus, so I know it's coming to Hulu, is Red Swan, which apparently 2024 is the Bodyguard year because this has Bodyguard and apparently has a romance this time, which will be fine. I'm not like the biggest fan of either one of the main characters. I'm probably more watching this because of the Bodyguard story, but it stars Kim Ha Nul and Rain, along with Jung-gu Woo, So you man, I cannot talk today. So Yi Suk, who I love. I love her. She's a great supporting actress. Yoon Jae Moon, Ki Yoon Se. God, I cannot talk today. Wow. Uh, Along with other people, but the main characters are definitely Kim Ha Nul and Rain. I don't mind either one of the two leads. I just like Kim Ha Nul was in Nothing Uncovered earlier this year, and I don't think she was bad. I think the writing was bad. So I'm willing to give her another shot. I have not watched a ton of Rain dramas, and also I don't think he's done a drama in a hot minute. Yeah, in at least 2 years, 3 years, something like that. And I didn't watch like Ghost Doctor. So I don't know. I'm still gonna try this one out because again, the Bodyguard romance, but also there's like cheating involved. Like it sounds like a makjang, which I love makjang, so we'll have to see. But basically, this is family makjang drama starring Kim Ha Nul, and she plays. I think she's a golf player, and so she marries into this really rich family, and her husband, yeah, so she's like the wife of this rich husband. She does charity work and all this stuff, and then she gets a new bodyguard who is Rain. Rain apparently came from like the police academy, is very good at fighting, blah blah blah. He has a reason to become a bodyguard of this family. They don't say what, and eventually apparently she helps him figure out this secret along with finding out cheating amongst her family and like all these family secrets. And of course he's a bodyguard, so he has to save her eventually for some things. I don't know, it's only 10 episodes. I figured I'd give it a try. If it's makjang, I love makjang, so we'll probably have to do that. But that's pretty much the only like July Korean drama I absolutely know I'm watching because I know it will be on Hulu. So we'll have to see what other ones that I have access to that I want to watch. I know there's a couple other I want to watch. It just depends on if I get access to them or not. But really, there's only like 3 or 4 Korean dramas, maybe even less. Maybe it'd be like 2 or 3 in July. July might be another dry month for Korean dramas for me, which I'm completely okay with. But anyway, so that is my current watch list that I'm watching for June and some of the dramas I plan to add soon. I know my watch list is shorter, but I think that's really intentional because I needed to catch up on a bunch of stuff. And also I don't want to be overwhelmed and then have life happen and then be behind on a bunch of dramas and not be able to start anything new. So I'm trying to be very conscious on and intentionally watch stuff and get stuff off my watch list before I start some new things and not become overwhelmed with this. Because I don't know. I sometimes get very overwhelmed if I add too many things to my watch list too soon. So we're going to get a couple of my Korean dramas off the list in a couple weeks because they both end in July. We're going to obviously take some of my English speaking shows are going to be gone. Some of the Victims Game, I think I'm going to get done with in the next couple weeks. So it'll be a completely other watch list in July, which is fun. So we'll have to see what I'm watching in July. But that's it. That's pretty much my June watch lists. Have you completed anything recently? What have you liked? Please let me know if you want me to watch anything. I know I said I'm watching The Double, but if you want me to watch something else and do a review on it, please let me know. I would love to have conversations with you on what you are currently watching and loving. I actually have finished a lot for June, which you'll hear about next week because my wrap-up episode is coming next week, which I'm really surprised I've finished as much as I did in June. So we'll have to see. But yeah, should I add anything to my watch list in July? Should I look out for some things? I know there's a ton of Chinese dramas that are waiting to be premiere, which I have my eye on everything. I need to really watch more than just Korean dramas because I have so many Chinese dramas I want to watch. But anyway, thank you for listening. That is another watch list episode, and that is for June 2024. See you next week. If you want to continue the conversations about dramas that were started in this episode, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter under the username NoSleep4Dramas. That is no sleep, the number 4 dramas, just like in the title of the podcast. This podcast is also an expansion of my blog, so you can visit my blog at www.NoSleep4Dramas.com, the number 4 dramas.com, and find multiple years of blog posts already available at your fingertips. All links are in the description of this episode. This has been an episode of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, and I am your host, Caitlin. I will see you here next time, and I hope you get no sleep chasing the next episode just like me. Good night.